Let's see. Oh, I love that the shirt shows fully. Yes, I know. You're looking for Herb and Rodg, and you only see Herb, and it's a little disappointing. All right. Rodg is on his way. It's funny because tonight is going to be a little bit of a abbreviated show anyway. We have family and fighting off a little sickness, so it's not going to be the same anyway. But let's at least welcome in the two guys I'm hanging out with. What's up, Jay Bake? Always good to see you. And Mike, has it been that kind of week? Are we ready to drink? Is it okay if I take the first shot without Rodg? Like, will anybody care? You know what? I've been sick. I think I've earned it. Roll Tide. Probably not the best thing to do when you've been feeling sick, but I never claimed to be a smart guy anyway. What my guy is drinking tonight, though. I appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you, sir. Gentleman Jack and Cherry Sprite. How is that mix? Because that actually sounds pretty good. So I'm really good. Jack Daniel's Watermelon Punch. Oh, you know what? I wasn't a huge fan, Mike. So I think I have 3 of those left. I've been doing Jack Daniel's Lemonade, but I feel like I've got 3 Watermelon Punches. So we should do a little trade tomorrow. I know you got some merchandise that I need. So I'll bring you the drinks. You bring me the merch. How about it? What you think? So Randy always working. Where's the hashtag? Randy always working. Anyway, I appreciate you, man, stopping by. Randy, I'm looking forward to the fall and getting some stuff together. One of our highlights, I feel like last year was the Alabama Georgia crossovers and stuff like that. So I am ready and ready to go. So J-Bake, I can neither confirm nor deny. Don't like to rat anybody out, but he is having some difficulties. So that's what happens when you're like 72, but you look like you're 12. So,
what I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, so I see you were responding to Jay Bake.
All right, Mike. I will catch up with you tomorrow, man, for sure.
Sorry for
we've only been on for a minute. They showed us. Did you see what they were drinking? He's got some Jack Daniel Watermelon Punch. I think
I've never had. I think Mike had that last. I think Mike's had that before, but he said it a couple times, so I need to try that one out. Then I've never tried that.
I was not a fan. I think if that's what I have up for upstairs, the watermelon punch. I wasn't a fan of it. I liked their lemonade better, and then there's one other flavor. I actually like peach.
Okay.
So, which I don't usually do peach flavoring. And Jay Bake said he's got his Gentleman Jack and Cherry Sprite. So, and Randy is working.
I've had the Crown Royal flavors, but I've never had any Jack Daniel flavor or anything.
I like the Jack Daniels ones. Jay Bake, we're looking forward to Florida State. One reason now has become getting to hang out with you.
Yep.
So that'll be a good time as well. So looking forward to it.
Yep.
I was just mentioning to him, Rodg. It's you've got family. I am really, really under the weather. This is going to be an abbreviated show tonight, but we still always like to jump on, at least talk to everybody, see what's going on. So, how is the fam? Well, how's everybody on that end?
Yeah. Good. Minus that coffee you just gave us. No, I'm just playing. Everybody's good here. We just put the kids to sleep. Going to church in the morning, of course, and then just gonna chill out tomorrow, and then just been a good day, been a pretty smooth day. So all is well.
Are you even set up to take a shot, or you've been running around?
Yeah, I'm good. No, I'm good. I need one. I'm good. It's been a running around with the kids and stuff all day, but all is well. Cheers.
You got roll tide, buddy. Roll tide. So usually when I'm on trips, I grab a shot glass for everywhere we go. So when we're in Tallahassee, do I have to grab a Florida State one, or do I just grab a Tallahassee one? So
I would grab a Tallahassee one. I'm not grabbing anything that has FSU on it. I will get a Tallahassee one though.
Okay. I like that thought.
I want to say we may have been to Tallahassee when we used to live in Cocoa Beach at one point, but I honestly don't remember. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Yeah. We traveled around the state. For those that don't know, Herb used to play on a club soccer team when he was little out of Rockledge, Florida.
Steelers.
They were the Rockledge Steelers, and this is a true story. They were so good. Over 3 years, they won over, I think, 80 games, and they only lost 2 to the same team. But that same team was of a higher age group. So
I don't remember if that part. I will give them credit.
They were a little older than
you.
You
Remember that? Yeah,
yeah.
You remember
they were a
that
little
part
older
better.
than you guys, and it was the same team you lost to. But you won all those other tournaments, and I was a younger brother. I was on the team, but I had fun. We had fun going to all the games, and there was that one tournament you guys won, and then we all went to Wet and Wild.
Yep.
And I remember that was just one of the funnest trips ever. So,
yep.
Anyway, it was awesome. It was awesome. Zach Minger, thank you for joining us.
Zach? Yep. Appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate you. And I know I didn't get to say hi to everybody, but shout out to Randy. Of course, shout out to super duper shout out to Big Mike, Jay Bake, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys for joining us. Herb and I are back again. Again, to Herb's point, this is gonna be a little shorter. We got some other things going on at both of our houses. So we just want to chime in and say hi to everybody, see how everybody else is doing. So
definitely. Like I said, I don't have my usual energy anyway, so this kind of coincided with everything. There's a chance I just drop off at 8:00, just fall over. So
shoot, I'm gonna I don't even know what's on, but I'm gonna go out here with mom and dad after a while and chit chat with them and see what else is going on. And then of course we have the NBA Finals go tomorrow night, Game 7. I know we're gonna talk. Let's talk about that right quick. Let's just make it abbreviated.
Okay.
Before the series started, and don't leave us. We're going to talk about college football. I randomly brought this up, so we're going to knock it out. Before the series started, I think Herb and I talked about the lack of superstar talent, and that went back and forth. And I didn't know if this was going to be an entertaining series, but for it to go to a Game 7, this has been an entertaining series, whether you've watched all the games or not. I've only missed one or two, but hey, this turned out much better than people expected.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. I honestly thought it was going to end in 6 at the start, just because how scrappy the paces are. Then when they came back in Game 1, I was like, yeah, we'll get to 6.
Exactly.
But, with Halliburton hurt and the depth of Oklahoma, it just feels like they've been the better team in the series. But like once per series, they lay a serious egg. And I don't know if they came out firing. They were up 10 early, and then all of a sudden fell off the face of the earth. It was just crazy. So.
Yeah, I mean, and then to your point,
Cotton, man, good to see.
Halliburton
joined us last week.
Shout out to Cotton. And again, we say this every time they jump on, but shout out to Cotton and the entire Way Offsides crew, man. They're doing huge things. If you're not following Alabama recruiting, which we'll get into in a little bit, they're all over it, man, all over their socials. So shout out to those guys. And if you're making a mistake and you're not following them, please go follow them on all the socials.
What are you doing with your life? If you're not following,
what are you doing with your life? Yeah, like I don't get it.
Randy, I like the Woodford Reserve stuff too, man.
Yes, Woodford's good. Woodford's good.
But look at Mike checking in. What's up, Mike?
Shout out to Cinco Squad. What I was saying was, Halliburton strained his calf 2 games ago, right? And then he played yesterday. I think, but the Pacers surrounding cast, of course, Siakam and the crew, they kind of held up the team. So I don't think his calf is 100%. It's not going to be 100% tomorrow. So, I mean, it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. It's literally the last game of the season. You have no choice but to go out there and give it your all and see what you can do. If you get hurt, you'll just rest in the offseason. But hey, what if it comes down to a last-second shot and Halliburton hits it to win the finals? I'm like,
I mean, that man is instant goated. Reggie Miller will
instant goated. What?
Bro, this will be one of the best postseason runs ever. One of the most exciting, one of the most improbable. And you think of like Reggie Miller never getting this done, and then Halliburton comes out of nowhere to beat the number. So, it's funny. I saw one of the programs where somebody was like, this has been the easiest path ever. And I was like, they were the 4 seed. Okay. So,
right.
No, you're not allowed to say that.
No.
They beat the number 1 seed. I don't care.
Who did they go through? They went through Boston,
Milwaukee, Cavs, Knicks.
Who beat Boston? Was that
Knicks? The Knicks.
Oh yeah. Okay, so they went through some pretty good teams with some superstar talent. So no, definitely not easy. Definitely not what people predicted. But I like the way that the series is turning out. 7 games, fine with me. Are we going to see superstars in the finals next NBA final? I have no idea. This might be the new wave, man. The older guys are getting old, and it's time for these young guys to step up and make their stand. So it is what it is. But I'll be watching Game 7 tomorrow night at, I believe, 7 p.m. I will definitely be watching.
Speaking of goats, one of the goats, Cat. Good luck in there. Appreciate you.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Anything else in the NBA? Are you good or?
No, well, I wasn't sure where this was going to fit in, but I have to make a quick Caitlin Clark comment. Oh, we roll tide? Roll tide, everybody. Anybody else is drinking with us, let us know what you're saying.
This is one. Yeah, if y'all are hydrating, let us know. And this is, again, I've said this on the show about 3 weeks ago. This is one of my favorite glasses that I got for a Christmas gift 3 Christmases ago, but I love it.
Well, this is my favorite glass. I got it 4 Christmases ago. I really love it.
I have that one too. I want to say you stole that from our house.
Probably, but who knows?
Uh-huh.
So I'm not going to go into just like the whole, she. I don't know if you saw the biggest thing, not the last game, the game before. She gets knocked down by one girl, smacked in the face, right, by one girl, and while she's like arguing, and Marina Mabry comes and just body checks her to the ground, right?
Yep.
There's a whole debate. Oh, there's people targeting. Blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'm not getting in all that. All right.
Yeah.
If you can point out one time and then like the other time that you're talking about happened last year, like that's not it. My whole problem with this whole situation is go back and watch it. There ends up being like 3 players from Connecticut surrounding her, knocking her down, and nobody on her own team reacts. And I know everybody's going crazy because Sophie Cunningham takes a flagrant foul later and basically just tackles this girl to the ground or whatever. That was great later. In the moment, go watch. Caitlin Clark's teammates are just walking over, and I was like, let Steph Curry get knocked down by somebody. Draymond is tossing someone into the first row.
Yep.
I love
what Sophie.
If SGA gets knocked down, I bet you Lou Dort will bench press somebody.
Yes. You got to. You got to stick up for your star player. You got to show them that you're going to have their back, because if you don't, people are going to continue to push around and bully your star player. So you have to have their back. I love what Sophie Cunningham did. She said, "Listen, hey, this is how it's going to go. If you're going to mess with Caitlin, you got to mess with us too." She grabbed the girl's hair, and she's talking trash to the girl while she's grabbing her hair. I'm like, wow.
I mean, I ain't messing with her, Rodg. I'm not messing with her. She's something serious. And I think what her jersey sold out. She hit 1 million followers on TikTok all of a sudden.
She got 6+ new social media followers, like 600, 7,000. I don't know. So hey, it worked out for her favor. Kudos to her. Shout out to Sophie Cunningham. If you're watching, please like and subscribe.
I mean, please do. But that's what you have to do. That's what, like, I'm disappointed in Leah Boston, man. Like, you're the center on team. You're the big one. Like, you got to knock somebody down. You know, I just people might hate on Angel Reese, right? But if Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were on the same team and somebody knocked down Caitlin Clark, I guarantee you Angel Reese would take on the whole team.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So that's all. That was my take.
Some people might debate that, since you use Angel Reese as an example in this situation.
When they were on the All-Star team together.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
They were fine.
Good point.
They were fine. They don't. Their on the court stuff has been limited to one time in the national championship, like 3 years ago at this point.
Yep. And
one flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark against her, right?
Yep.
There hasn't been that much play between the two. We've overplayed the situation, but actually coming down to the two, they don't trash talk either off the court. They don't play a position where they have to go up against each other.
Right.
It's just we've kind of made this into this bigger thing. But I guarantee you, if they were on a team together tomorrow, they would have a perfect time.
I agree. I agree that.
And they wouldn't worry about it. Yep. And I guarantee you, Angel Reese would be an enforcer for Caitlin Clark. And I'm disappointed that her current team is not.
Right.
So
I 1,000% agree with what you're saying. I feel like some people would take Angel Reese's name and use that, like, no, she doesn't like Caitlin, so they wouldn't do that. But if they're on, to your point, if they're on the same team, it's a different circumstance, and then you have to be there for your team. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Dennis Rodman once basically tackled Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
And then joined up with him and won 3 titles.
Yep, won 3 titles.
When it, the LeBron and Draymond, they've got some history on the court.
If they were on the same team, Draymond would have a back. Yeah,
they would, and I guarantee you. So no, sometimes you need an enforcer, and I'm disappointed that her team hasn't stepped up like that. So
I agree.
All right. The quick recruiting update was really that there's not a big update. There's a lot of guys on campus right now, I think, right? Let me see.
There's a ton of guys on campus right now. We've been seeing all this stuff on social media. I posted a video earlier today on TikTok, hoping and thinking that we were going to get some good news today. Haven't necessarily received any bad news. No news at all, really. Just we've seen more people on campus. We know Nick Saban's on campus right now.
Shout out to, by the way, one reason why he's on campus is a lot of the coaching staff is in Mississippi with Keelan Russell. Prayers out.
Prayers out to the family. Yep.
To the family, for sure. And nothing else to say on that, man. Just
no.
And glad that everybody's able to be.
It was good to see them supporting their player and their teammates. So it was good to see that. And I'm glad you brought that up because there were some people from opposing fan bases like, you guys have to bring in Nick Saban. First of all, why wouldn't you bring him in? Even regardless of the reason we just mentioned, why wouldn't you bring him in?
Right.
If you had the goat on your previous coaching staff, I'd bring him in too. So it was good to see him doing that. But a lot of the coaches and players were attending Kirsten Russell's funeral in support of Keelan Russell. So that's why they weren't there. So anyway, to Herb's earlier point,
if you're asking about what Keelan Russell, he was.
Yeah, Randy. Keelan Russell had a twin sister named Kirsten, who passed away in Alabama. I think she was in Tuscaloosa
on the 4th. Yeah,
on June 4th. Her funeral was today, I believe, and that's where a lot of people were at in Mississippi. So
in Mississippi.
That's it.
Let me put this up real quick. Agree on both. Agree on both.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And this isn't the full list. There's a second page to it, but I just wanted to put this up. So Cedarian Morgan is one of the big ones we want, but all three of those 5 stars are out of the state of Alabama. So it'd be a great get to get all 3.
Yeah, we would love to get Cedarian Morgan his length. Xavier Kroll, of course. Anthony Tank Jones. Yeah, if we could get all 3 of those, that would be great. Obviously, Jed already committed. Another thing that I want to point out, just off a not off a tangent, but it kind of relates to what we're talking about is
we're allowed tangents. It's Saturday night, Rodg.
You're right. Regardless of your ranking, whether you're 2, 3, 4, whatever, that matters when it comes to all these ranking sites, and it helps with your overall recruitment numbers. But that's never going to tell you how good of a player you're going to be when you come to the University of Alabama. The job of each coaching staff is to kind of get you to maximize your potential. Keep in mind, Mac Jones and Josh Jacobs were both 3 stars. They both had great college careers. Mac Jones had started off pretty good, made the Pro Bowl his rookie year. He's kind of bouncing around a little bit now. Josh Jacobs, you can make the argument Josh Jacobs could be a future NFL Hall of Famer based on his stats alone. So, and they were 3 stars coming out of high school. So regardless of ranking, it's just good to get these guys in here and hopefully they stay with you long enough so that they can develop. Anthony. Big Mike said, I thought Tank already committed. I got to double check that, Mike. Let us know in the comments.
I just don't see where he did. Yeah.
I didn't see it, but let us know, Mike. We could be missing something here. So we got a good slate of guys. And one thing when it comes to recruiting, it's like you have to understand that some of these players, and Herb and I talked about this the other day, some of these players are going to take their OVs. One reason that I thought about this is that for players to take all their OVs is so they can build up. It's good for their social media. Let's be honest. They get to post all these pictures on their social media, wearing all the gear of whatever school they're visiting. They get likes. They get people because if they're going to the University of Alabama, a lot of people that are Alabama fans will start following them on social media. 2 weeks later, they go to Oregon. A lot of people that are fans of the University of Oregon will start following them on those.
That's what Arrington did for sure.
So I don't blame him for doing that.
On one of the
I don't blame him at all. So,
Rodg, when I was on the Bama Standard show with the Way Out Sides guys, and we were all sitting. Well, I'm sure they've got groupies, so I wouldn't mind if their girls came by. But when I was sitting out there, Rodg, and I was chatting it up with the fellows, just talking about stuff. One of the things that I mentioned was if I was a kid and I had all these people giving me offers, I would take every official visit ever. But let's say I'm in Alabama, right? I'll take one of the University of Alabama. I'd find a Texas school that wanted me. I'd take an official visit there. I'd find a California school that wanted me. I would take an official visit there. A Florida school that wanted me.
Hey,
I'm taking.
I want to go to.
I want to go to the
Northwest. Hey, North Dakota, Wyoming. Let's do it. Let's go.
I would just because I'd be like this. Great school, love it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
I would
Just
tell
to
them
say I
everything they
traveled,
need to
man.
hear. But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. Even though
Yep.
deep down inside, I say I'm going to Bama, but I got to take these other trips. So
I would take every visit
hey,
possible.
if
You're
they
telling
offer you
me,
free trips and they're offering you free
yes,
merch, hey, I'll take it.
yes, and
Yeah, I'll
money to
take it.
go. Oh,
And
I'm
money,
in.
I'm great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're like, wow, Herb really just took a trip to San Diego State. I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
bro.
Yeah. Why not? Never been there
Why not?
before. Yeah.
Yep. So no, I would
Yep.
absolutely take all my visits. So it's a different it's a different world when you get to there. So
Yep.
we'd love to see some more of those commitments. I think we get anxious, man, but a lot of these
We
guys
do,
have
we
set
do.
July commitment dates. So we're waiting.
We do. And well, we have 2 coming up this month, I believe. I think Xavier Crow is supposed to announce on June 26th. And then Xavier Griffin is June 29th.
Right.
As far as before that, I mean, we'll sit around and see what happens. But those are 2 big ones that we hope to hear from. So we'll see what happens. I think Mike just chimed in. He was not committed and is expected to pick Auburn. Okay, well, so be it. You know.
Dang it, Mike.
I know, but I mean, thank you for giving us the truth. But it is what it is. For everybody we don't get, we'll pick up somebody regardless. So we will survive.
And that's the thing. I mean, you kind of live and die by your recruiting classes, and at the same time, you're like, well, I think you're going to be already wiped. So my favorite part about the recruiting game is you sit there and like, oh, I really want this guy, and then when they commit somewhere else, you go, you know what? I didn't really care about that guy anyway. So that's where I am right now, Rodg. I really want these guys, and then when they commit elsewhere, I'm going to pretend like I don't care.
And keep in mind, when they commit elsewhere, if they go somewhere else, if they actually commit and stay there for a year, let's just say things don't work out for them. They're going to have these visits in the back of their mind like, man, I really like my visit when I went to Bama. I can always transfer there. It's still in state. So
that's why a lot of these guys keep up. And it's kind of like where the line is if you're tampering or not tampering. But a lot of these guys that you recruited that went elsewhere, you keep the relationship up. So
exactly.
I mean, that's what got Proctor, I think, back to Iowa for a summer.
Yep.
You know, that and probably some girl, but when he came right back. So
yeah.
That there's a line there between those two. So
yep.
And Mike, I think on the way they made this graphic was the guys at the top had were supposed to be the ones that committed, and the other ones were just on their regular visits. So we'll see. But that was it on our recruiting part of it, Raj. I know we're not going to stay too long tonight. A list because we put in our graphic, we'll at least mention it. Don't know how we won't go into depth on it. So Cole Kubelik, someone who we greatly respect, has put out a series, top 5 groups in the SEC. I think Randy was one of the first ones to bring it up on there because of where Georgia's inclusion is on one of them. I want to end up going through the full list and listening to them all. One thing, just because it helps out with every year that we do this show, I'm learning. I got to learn more and more personnel on all these other teams. So that's one thing it helps out for sure. But did you get a chance did you listen to his top 5 wide receiver group? SEC?
A little bit wide receiver. Yeah,
okay,
I listened to it a little bit. Before we do that, hold on.
Oh, hold on. Let me get.
Okay.
I shouldn't show it yet because nobody's sponsoring us yet, but I don't know if you can see with the glare.
You know what's funny? We say that now, but somebody will, and then we're just gonna laugh back these times.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Well, we got to get cracking on that. We're getting us a sponsor for this show, though.
Oh yeah.
Especially during football season because there's going to be a lot of hydration.
Oh yeah.
Raj,
cheers.
It's a family.
It's a family. Roll Tide.
So, do you remember the top 5 list off the top of your head, or do I?
Not off the top of my head, no.
So, but who was in the top 5?
A bunch of players.
Wow.
I'm trying to pull it up again.
Well, I got it though. I got it written down.
Okay.
So who are your guesses? For top 5
wide receivers in the SEC or what?
Yep.
Okay.
And anybody listening, if you've got your guesses, go ahead and give them.
I feel like since it's Cole Kubelik, Alabama wasn't number 1.
Correct.
Okay. Let's just say in top 5, I'm gonna say Alabama, not Alabama number 1. Auburn, Texas, LSU.
4.
Not Ole Miss.
Nope. They were in
not South Carolina.
Mention. Not even mentioned.
Who am I missing then?
Somebody who is watching your show.
Florida? Georgia.
Honorable mention. Georgia.
Okay.
Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Texas, in that order.
Okay. So I wasn't that off. Okay.
I mean, you're not usually right, so we're not.
Auburn's number one. It's interesting to have them ranked high because Jackson Arnold. It's either Jackson Arnold or Dude Knight. Whoever takes over the helm is going to have a lot to do, and we know.
So let me say real quick. Yeah. He did not factor in your quarterback. He just factored in your wide receiver.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. That clears up my comment then. Okay. All right.
So
and I guess even with that said, I mean, if that was the case, Alabama and Auburn might be ranked lower because we don't know what Ty's going to do. So yeah.
True. Honestly, out of this whole list, the only person with the returning quarterback was that. So that's why.
Well, Gunner played. Gunner Stockton played a few games, but not like a full season.
Not a full season though. So out of that whole list, the only one that played for their team for a whole season was that. But he really liked Cam Coleman, and there's another name for Auburn.
I forget the other guy's name.
Eric Singleton. He also really liked it. He thought that was an underrated name as well too. So those were kind of carrying it. For Alabama, obviously Ryan Williams kind of carried the show, but it was weird that I think Alabama fans, we think the depth is better than what Cole thinks because he loves Jeremy Bernard, and then he mentioned Horton, and then he went with Jalen Hale, and he stopped. And he's like, there's some other names, but those are kind of your top four. And I was like, that's interesting because there's a lot of guys who might not have Hale at 4 just because we've seen the other people. But I think it's a factor of your fan base is obviously going to be more excited for your own team than an outside person. So I think that's true.
And I also feel like Jeremy Bernard and Isaiah Horton can be a lot of teams' wide receiver ones. They just happen, and they could be honestly, they could be Bama's wide receiver ones at some point. But we just know when it comes from a more of an entertainment point of view and just like social media things like that, Ryan Hollywood Williams is that guy, and he put up the stats last year to show us what he could do. But Jeremy Bernard was like, come towards the end of the season, Bernard was like right there.
Can I say this about Bernard as a guy who likes him? Sorry, I know I just jumped across.
Yeah, you did.
I feel like he is a number 2.
Okay.
I don't feel like he's a team's number 1. But go ahead.
Was he the number 1 at No, he wasn't number 1 at Washington because it was Romeo.
He was like number 4 at Washington.
Yeah, you're right.
We've got 2 receivers that have been productive here, both with him and J-Mo, that were not high on their depth charts at other schools. But
dude, J-Mo was so huge for us in that 2021 season. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yes.
Man.
I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, go back. I think that Alabama fans will think our depth is better than what Cole thinks, but I can't.
Yep.
Like, I don't think that's an oversight on his part. Did he go watch his videos? Cube Space. Like I said, I'd like to get into some of his other top 5s. His knowledge of the personnel is really, really good. It'll help you get up to date on your names. And, I trust what he's saying. There was no bias. And it was like, this is what I think. This is what I like. So I like what he's doing there.
Agreed.
Like I said, number 2, number 3, Georgia. He was high on Dylan Bell. And then 4 and 5, LSU, Texas. He thought Texas, I think he thought a lot of their guys were duplicating what another guy was already doing. He didn't like the variety. I think as you go up the list, he liked the variety of what they put together. So yeah, Mike, I've watched that one. I feel like it was the defensive line. I need to take better notes on the other ones, but I really like his breakdowns. And like you said, there's no bias, and he's just giving you his clean thoughts. And it's a series I highly recommend. So when we have more time, we'll kind of develop them too.
I was about to say I'll dive more into it too once we get off, and I'll check it out with some of the other positions as well. But I just like during the offseason, I like hearing these pundits and their opinions on everything. Like when Josh Pate broke out with his post-spring top 5 in the SEC or whatever the case may be, it's good for engagement, and it's just good to hear what the pundits think. Although you have to think
with pundits one more time. Say pundits one more time.
Pundits one more time.
You're a jerk. You grew up with Cole.
Oh wow.
Mike.
Maybe he's thinking Michael Cole.
Come on the show.
Michael Cole.
He probably does.
See,
he probably does know Michael Cole. Yeah, that was great, Rodg.
Oh, Mike, how did you? That's pretty cool. But it's good to hear what the pundits think, and I'm hoping one day Herb and I are in the position where we give out our top 5 for whatever.
Yeah,
and everybody goes crazy, and then everybody goes crazy off that. Because if that happens, I'm gonna just do some ridiculous stuff, like I've got Alabama like the 6th ranked team in the SEC, just so everybody can go crazy.
That's my role. That is my role.
Again. I would do that.
Yeah, but you know what?
Engagement.
When I do it, I'm gonna make Mississippi State number 5 and Alabama number 6.
Oh, okay, Herb. We can't get too crazy.
Yes, we can. Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Roll Tide, baby. You don't know what's in this drink.
Roll Tide. Yep. You know what? I have Bullet, and I mixed it with. I have Bullet, and I mixed it with Fruit Punch Under Armour.
What?
Bullet?
That sounds like something you did. That sounds like I went into the cupboard and I put together the last 2 things that I had.
They were the quickest things for me to grab. I put some ice in my glass. I poured up my stuff, my hydration, and then I grabbed something to mix it with, and it would just happen to be this Fruit Punch Under Armour. I said, you know what?
Oh my God.
This is what I'm going to roll with, and I'll be all right with it. I'll live with it. What is
Randy? I really enjoy his series, man. I feel like you're just getting unbiased, straightforward. Here's information.
Yep.
Presented well. So, man, I'm good.
Yep.
I like him. I know you had mentioned having great respect for him. I think last time we were out here, man. I agree.
He did. If it's coming from Randy, it's legit. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
We gotta follow Cole.
Well, 90% of what Randy tells you legit. That part where he tells you George is going to be bad, yeah.
Except for the husky droppings, yeah.
Except for the husky droppings, everything else is legit. So
we got to get a husky droppings T-shirt made in Cat's honor. Yes. Yep.
That sounds weird. We got to get a husky dropping shirt for Cat. Like that's people like, do they not like Cat? No. She coined a great phrase that we love. Yeah. So Rod, you want to talk a little bit about what we got coming up then, since I know we're cutting out a little earlier tonight.
Yeah. Let me pull up my calendar because I know we talk about it all the time, but I seem to forget at times for some weird reason. So our summer series will continue. What is today? On the 24th. Who do we got coming up? We just did Ole Miss. Yep. So this Tuesday we have South Carolina?
Oklahoma. So
we moved the dates around. So the summer series will continue. We have an Oklahoma fan coming up this Tuesday.
Co-host of Locked On Sooners.
Locked In Sooners. Obviously, we want to hear what they have to say. We know what happened last year. The OU travels to Tuscaloosa this year. They have a new quarterback in John Mateer. I really want to know what he thinks about Mateer. I know he was decent at Washington State, but apparently he's supposed to be huge and the big guy at OU. And then they got Arbuckle coming in. So it's always good to hear another fan's perspective on their team and honest, not just, I think we're going to, win 11, 12 games. No, what is your honest opinion on the team? That's what we want to know. So we have that coming up. Of course, Saturday night.
Before you go forward, so South Carolina is a person that I think can only show up on Saturday nights.
Okay.
So one Saturday night, I think we'll have a South Carolina. And Mike, you'll be happy about this. The Colorado person did get back to us. So one Saturday night, we're hoping to have either one of those two. Probably maybe a 30-minute segment for either one.
I have one request. So at one point, Herb and I talked about syncing calendars on our phones. I'm looking on June 24th. Ain't nothing on my phone in this calendar. And this is why I didn't know OU was coming up, and I blame it on Herb. I mean, I'm responsible at my age, but Herb really dropped the ball here, and he did not sync the calendars. And I'm just.
It's on my calendar.
I can't read that. It could say anything.
I mean,
that could be a reminder.
What does it say for yours on June 24th?
I don't have anything.
You don't even have where it says Ole Miss?
Nope.
This is not going to make our greatest hits, by the way.
It's not.
Well, Oklahoma's coming up.
And
South Carolina and Colorado are slated for a Saturday night. So there's 5 spots in July, 5 Tuesdays. We have filled 2 of them tentatively.
Yep.
Do you know what teams those are?
In July?
Yes. Auburn is one.
Who?
I don't know why you're not. Auburn is
Twitter
one.
Feed. That's in the Twitter feed.
On the 15th, yes. On the 15th, but it's on my calendar.
Right.
And I never thought I would say this or even have asked for this. We will have a Vandy fan on for one of the takeover series.
That is going to be so interesting. But
do I wear my nerdy by nature shirt?
Yes, you should. And I like the pick because what they did last year, and then lately Diego Pavio has been going on these little rants on social media. So and he knows what he's doing. He's like, look, I'm gonna bring some mojo to my team. We're coming off a big year. The question is, can they duplicate it in 2025? So I like that pick. I like that pick. So I'll take it.
I'm not mad at Pavia. I think you have to do that if you're
No.
team. You can't let somebody come out and talk trash about you and just get punked. So no, I'm
do what you can.
with
do
it,
what
man.
you can. Do what you can. No faults at all. So yep, all good.
The whole get up is the world ready for the whole get up.
The bow tie, the little hat that spins around with the propeller on it. Yes, you have to get the whole get up. And I want him to come on like, hey, Herb, you okay? I'm like, I don't know. My brother, he was in this home for a while. This is just
he was in a home for a while. Good grief. This guy's going to be like, what the heck did I get myself?
Yeah.
That leaves 3 open dates in July to fill because then you get into to August, if that's still the month after July. And then you've got your regular previews of conferences, and then the SEC. Hopefully, get Big Mike and Bama Beat to do that again. That was fun. And then a full hour on just Alabama breakdown before we head to Florida State. Still have 3 other teams to get. You know, it's funny. So we asked people suggestions, and we've used a lot of yours. Florida State is one that we're still trying to get. Mike mentioned North Carolina. I know that we had an NC State guy on here before. I don't know if we've contacted North Carolina. So that'd be an interesting one just because of Bill Belichick and Bill Belichick's woman.
Yeah, that whole situation.
It's funny when we were looking at the schedule and teams, we both said Wisconsin and nope. So Randy, I have to look at it. I don't do Instagram much. That's to my detriment. I'm just terrible at it. That's not to anybody else. I'm just bad at all this stuff. Rodg has been carrying our TikTok lately. Yeah, trying to get us out there. So
we're getting there.
By the way, if you're not following us on TikTok, even if you don't use TikTok, please just go follow us.
Just follow us.
Doing a great job. And
we're trying to post. We post multiple times daily, so we're trying to work on this. And that was one of Herb and I's goals for the year, was to kind of make our presence more known than it was last year. And it's still a daily process and a daily grind, but we love it, we enjoy it, and we are we're gonna get there.
I do the show at 7 on Bama Standard
tomorrow night. Randy, to answer your question, after Herb's show, we are now tomorrow night. We will be watching the NBA. I will be watching the NBA Finals. That comes on at 7. It's Game 7 of the Finals, last game of the season. I will be watching that. But after that, after Herb's show at 7, I think we should be free on Sunday.
Basically, 7 to 8, I'm not free.
Yeah.
For usually that's our thing. Other than that, usually yes. So.
Yep.
I agree. That's a really good goal. Randy, like you hit that goal more often than not. Just a great dude, man. We've always appreciate
Randy.
You bring to the table. So I don't know if Randy will ever even realize that he kind of, in a roundabout way, kind of spurred on the summer series. Yeah, he sat down and said, "What do you guys actually like and good at, and factor towards that?" And we were like, college football. Because 2 years ago at this time, I think we would have had a whole hour on like the NBA Finals.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's not a good podcast. So
Jay Bake, man, thank you for joining us as always. Thank you for helping us out. And Jay Bake, if there's anybody else out there that that's not watching, please tell them to follow us on our socials, tune into the pod, TikTok, etc., whatever the case may be. Have a good night. Roll Tide Roll, and we will make sure to drink a little bit of water and eat
maybe
some stuff like.
I have water next to me; it just hasn't been open. But I feel like maybe if I'm absorbing it somehow, that don't work?
Yeah. Gotcha. Right. Yep.
Well, Rodg, I know the family's waiting. I know.
Yep.
We're upstairs. We kind of got through really quickly what we wanted. Hopefully, by next week there'll be a little bit more recruiting updates, and then of course in the weeks to come.
Yeah, I think by next week, again, Xavier Kroll is announcing the 26th, I believe. So we'll be able to report on that next Saturday. I'm sorry. And again, we don't know if anybody else will commit this following week either. We don't know, but Kroll should commit. He would definitely be a huge pickup for us, and we could throw him into our running back room. So we shall see what happens.
Yep. Again, thoughts and prayers out to the Russell family and what they're going through today. that's a tough thing. Glad
That's
the
tough.
Alabama
That's
family
tough.
could be there for them today. Other than that, Raj, appreciate you. I know mom's probably out there like, how long
Yeah,
did you say you're?
she asked me how long it was going to be. I said about 30 minutes, maybe a little longer, but I
Yeah.
just told them I'm going to help clean up so that they can kind of chill out and sit down and then prep for church in the morning. So yeah.
We are absolutely. I forgot to tell,
Yeah,
but I mean, you've got it. We've messaged you before. We'll definitely
we'll
look up
message you,
beforehand.
Jay. Yeah,
we're there.
we'll stay in.
We're there
stay in
Friday
touch.
afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll be there Friday afternoon till I fly back out
Big
Sunday.
Mike.
So we'll make the most of our time.
Yep.
Thank you, Big Mike, and do the
Mike,
same
I'll
for Big
text you.
Mike.
We definitely got to get together tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, do the same for
While
Big
we're up
Mike.
here, while we're showing the love, man.
Yeah.
If you're not following Big Mike,
Right.
man, please do. I don't even care if you're a wrestling fan. Raj and I were not wrestling fans.
Right.
We started watching the podcast. He's got us to the point where we're watching the PLEs and at least following on. We watch him every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central. The Way Outsides have started going on back, or maybe that's where they always were at 8 o'clock. So now I always do a split screen. Or Mike, you don't even know the last night I was in bed, or Thursday night I was in bed when your show was on. I had one show on my phone and the other show on my TV just to make sure that I was supporting you. So, man, but just show Mike some love. Mike is one of those guys that always helps out. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes for us that we really appreciate. So next Saturday afternoon is Night of Champions.
Mike, what time is that? What time is the Night of Champions?
He said Mike, though. Those are two of their favorites. Big Sides had a blast. I'm glad that they're getting into that, man. So everybody should be supporting Big Mike because he's the kind of guy that will always look out for you and support whatever you do.
Great.
So show that man some love. Rodg, I appreciate it. I know that the family is waiting, so glad we got some time to step in here. Oklahoma takeover coming up next on Tuesday, season preview. We don't have a show at 2 weeks, so we gotta start scheduling some teams.
We'll figure it out. I just got to get these things on my calendar.
I mean, look, I know sometimes iPhones don't always work. I know they kind of do what they want.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's the iPhone.
Saying.
Okay.
I'm saying. Rodg, I always appreciate it. Hey, everybody, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
Even when it's a short show, we enjoy the Saturday night shows and having a few minutes with everybody.
Cheers.
I'm not feeling well, Rodg. I might go crash early.
All right. Go do so, man. Go do so. I'm going to clean up and then watch a little TV and crash myself. So.
Did you say go drop a deuce? What?
I said go clean up. What are you talking
Oh, you said do
something. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. As always, roll tide.
Roll tide, everybody.
Yeah.